All right, let's get right into it. Because how your customers find you online is about to change more in the next year or so than it has in the last decade. Seriously, we are moving from search engines to answer engines. So this is your playbook for how to survive and, honestly, how to thrive in this new world of AI search.
So let me just ask you a question, and I want you to really think about it. Is your local business becoming invisible? Because all the old tricks, all the tactics you've been using to get noticed, to get on that first page of Google, they're being completely rewritten as we speak by artificial intelligence. It's a huge fear for a lot of businesses, and today we're going to tackle it head on.
Just look at this. On the left, that's the world we all know, right? The classic Google three-pack map. You fight tooth and nail to get into one of those top 3 spots. But on the right, well, that's the new reality. Instead of a list of links, Google's AI just gives a direct answer, a paragraph, and then maybe a little carousel of businesses. See the difference? The game isn't just about ranking anymore. It's about becoming the answer itself.
And that brings us to the AI search shakeup. The new rules for getting seen online are not just a little different. They're frankly kind of unpredictable. Let's just look at what the data is telling us.
Okay, get a load of this number. 14%. That's it. Only 14% of the websites that the AI recommended were also in the top 10 normal search results. Think about that. All that hard work to get a #1 ranking, it absolutely does not guarantee you'll even get a mention from the AI. It is a completely different ballgame.
And if that wasn't crazy enough, check this out. When researchers ran the exact same local search over and over again, less than 10% of the websites the AI recommended stayed the same each time. The whole system is incredibly volatile. You could be the top recommendation 1 minute and just gone the next. This means that old set it and forget it approach to SEO, it's over. It's dead. We need a whole new playbook.
So you see, the new priority isn't about climbing some static ladder of rankings. It's about showing that you're relevant, consistent, and have context from all across the web. You have to think of the AI like a super fast researcher. It's not just looking at your website. It's pulling info from Yelp, from Reddit, from news articles, from local blogs. It's piecing together a puzzle. And your online presence has to be a strong piece of that puzzle everywhere.
So how in the world do we adapt to this? Well, it all starts with becoming AI visible. And that means we have to learn to speak the language of AI. The very first step is making the technical foundation of our own website crystal clear to the machine.
Let's talk about something called schema markup. Now, don't let the name scare you. The easiest way to think about it is like a universal translator for your website. It's just a little layer of code that you add. It doesn't change how your site looks to a person at all, but behind the scenes, it's explicitly telling the AI, hey, this string of numbers, that's our phone number. Or this block of text, these are our business hours. It basically removes all the guesswork for the AI.
And the big question, does it actually work? Oh, yeah. The data shows that pages with good, comprehensive schema markup get cited 3 to 5 times more often in AI recommendations. It's one of the most direct things you can do to up your chances of getting included in an AI answer.
And you know, this whole idea isn't just about back-end code. It's also about how you structure your writing. Just look at this. On the left, you've got this big, dense block of text. It's hard for a person to scan, and it's basically impossible for an AI to figure out what's important. But on the right, it's the same info, just structured with a clear headline and some bullet points. All of a sudden, it's super easy for both humans and AI to understand in a split second.
Okay, so once that technical foundation is in place, we've got to talk about the content itself. Because it's no longer enough just to have pages about what you do. You have to create content that directly answers your customers' questions. You have to position yourself as the source that the AI wants to quote. From now on, this right here is the new litmus test for every single piece of content you create. Read it and ask yourself this simple question. If a customer spoke this question into their phone, does this page provide the absolute best, clearest, most definitive answer? If the answer is no, or even maybe, it needs a rewrite.
You know, this process actually has a name, Answer Engine Optimization, or AEO, and it's a really simple 4-step loop. First, you identify a common customer question. Step 2, you make that exact question a clear heading on your page. Step 3, right underneath it, you give a direct, concise answer. We're talking 40 to 60 words max. And finally, step 4, you add all the supporting details in an easy-to-read format, like a bulleted list or a little table.
And the data just screams that this structure works. A staggering 50% of AI citations are pulled from list-style articles. Another 25% comes from tables and other kinds of structured data. That means 3/4 of all the sources the AI quotes come from clearly formatted content, not from those big walls of text. Structure is everything.
All right, let's switch gears and talk about what is, arguably, the single most important asset for any local business in this new world, your Google business profile. You really have to start thinking of it as your new digital storefront.
So why is it so darn important? It's simple. Google's AI trusts Google's data. As one report put it, AI mode really likes Google Maps. And it's true. About 1 in every 10 AI answers for local searches links directly to a Google business profile. So optimizing your profile? That's like building a direct on-ramp into those AI-generated answers. So, what does a healthy, optimized profile look like? It's all about good hygiene. First, your name, address, and phone number have to be perfectly consistent everywhere online. No exceptions. Keep your photos fresh and high quality. You've got to respond to all of your reviews, the good and the bad. And here's a great pro tip. Actively use the Q&A feature. You can even post your own frequently asked questions and then answer them yourself. It's a fantastic way to spoon-feed the AI exactly the info you want it to have.
All right, let's get to our final and maybe the most crucial strategy of all, building online authority. Look, in the world of AI, what you say about yourself is important, sure. But what other credible websites say about you, that is pure gold. You need the rest of the internet to vouch for you.
This chart shows it all. Researchers call it a confidence bias. If you're only mentioned on your own website, you have a baseline, 1x chance of being cited. But if you're mentioned on 4 or more other reputable sites, your likelihood of showing up in an AI answer jumps by almost 3 times. The AI becomes more confident that you're a good recommendation.
And here it is. This is the knockout punch. AI overviews are 6.5 times more likely to cite information about your business from an external source, like a local news article, a blog that reviewed you, a high-quality directory, than from your own website. This means things like PR, guest posting, getting listed on industry sites, they're not optional anymore. They are absolutely essential for building trust with the AI.
So after all this, it really comes down to one final question you have to ask yourself. Is your website just an online brochure that lists what you do, or is it a living resource, meticulously structured to be the single best, most definitive answer to your customers' most important questions? Because in the age of AI, only the answer is going to win.